Feels so good to be back to class. Well, welcome everybody, welcome parents, welcome to our review video. Today we are at Broadvision World School. They have their campuses in Hennur and in Tanisandra. This is about 4 years old and it's a CBSE school. They have pre-primary, that's nursery to grade 9 here. So before we get into our review, have a quick look at the basic stats. First up, let's discuss the school type. We would like to classify Broadvision World School as mainstream and new age school. Well, why mainstream? This school has all the basic, amazing facilities that you need for your kid. I mean, it checks all the check boxes that you might have. They have a very good sports facility. The infrastructure is really good. They have a play area, fantastic play area, by the way, and the curriculum is great. Every parent has already talked about it, and most importantly, they have a lot of co-curricular activities as well. So it kind of ticks all the major boxes that you need from a mainstream school. And secondly, when it comes to new age school, I think this school, though it's a new school, it's only 4 years old, they are already doing so much more to get into the new age curriculum, which includes AI, robotics, and all the coding and aerodynamics, all these different aspects that the new age student must know at this point. They are a traditional CBSE school and they follow it to the T, but also as add-ons they have several new things that are coming up, which is why it's perfectly classified into mainstream and new age school. Alright, let's talk about fees. Well, I think this school, Broadvision World School, definitely has to get categorized into our standard category. I mean, their fees is 65 to 85,000, all right, which definitely is super affordable. Talking about all the kind of facilities that they're offering here, and more importantly, when I was actually talking to the management today, so they have 65 to 85, which is their range. On top of that, they are offering scholarships and discounts, right? And on top of that, they're also giving you 3 installments to pay this fees, for a year, which is totally making this super affordable and a standard rate, and super highly value school that I would like to call it. Well, I was actually trying to figure out what is the goal of the school when I was talking to the management, and what they really want to achieve as a school. And I think as a mainstream school, they're doing much more than what's even expected, I think, because I think the basic necessity that every parent wants is for a school to actually understand what hidden talents their kids have, whether it's in sports, whether it's in dance, music, yoga, coding, could be anything. And what they really want to do is to really understand, put the kid through various activities all through their foundational years, and then really get the kid involved in the area of interest that they would like to pursue, and actually really encourage them and motivate them to continue that. I really think this school gives you an edge over other mainstream schools. Well, because BBWS is not like your regular mainstream school, which just provides you that much of exposure, I was really keen to understand what are the USPs of the school, something that this school does differently. Okay, And I think again it all comes down to the grassroots level. You know how they kind of make the foundational things of the school super strong. I think the USPs are also that foundational. The first one, safety. Now this is a very core essential requirement of every school, but I really think BBWS hits it to the mark, because I think they have CCTVs all around. They have photo verification that is required in case a guardian is coming, so the parent has to ensure they send out a photo of the guardian. Only then if it's verified, and send it to the school number. Only then if it's verified, then they're sent. Like, I think at all times the kids are left completely attended. They're always with somebody. And I think more importantly, they also kind of have maid stations in every single corridor, which basically makes it super easy for the kid to go and ask for any help they want, including the hygiene of the school and cleanliness. So I really think they do something that international schools these days do, at the cost of being a mainstream school. So that's number one. Number two definitely has to be their assemblies. So the idea is every single class gets, like, I was told that every single class gets like this 1 week, wherein in that 1 week they have like a theme, or a concept, a kind of a plan, a schedule that's already made, where every single kid from the class participates. I think that's a very nice thing to have. Usually the most amazingly talkative ones, or the ones who have a great personality, only they get to express in the assemblies, but I think they really have a unique concept, because of which all the students in the class get to participate. So I think these two USPs really stand out for BBWS. Let's talk about the culture of the school. I think they also try to bring in a lot of Indian culture in the school. Like I was told that they pray before lunch, they pray before leaving the school. A lot of etiquettes taught, thank you, and being grateful, being greeting their teachers wherever they meet, and things like that, which are basic things that are taught in school. Very mainstream, very much with the Indian culture, which every parent would love. So I think their culture is to the track. Let's talk about the positives of BBWS. Now, there are so many positives. I think the first biggest positive is having a campus where the children can run about, having some breathable space, having some greenery. All of these are such a big plus. Any Bangalorean would know, right? I mean, having like a 3 acres or a 5 acre campus in the middle of the city, where you have bustling traffic and residential zone, I think is like a huge plus. And I think that's the one thing I really liked about this school, that even in the center, it's it still has its own space and a really good infrastructure, that the kids can have. Second definitely has to be the curriculum. Now, this is a new school. It's just been about 4 years, but more importantly, I think they're now this year, I think, are going to introduce a lot of new age curriculum, which is AI, robotics, aero modeling, coding. All of these essential skills that are very required in this modern world, and they're trying to plan everything around these, even soft skills, and a lot of a holistic development program. I mean, like a 360 kind of a program, where a kid can get exposure to sports, new age learnings, apart from being a usual CBSE curriculum school. Also, talking about curriculum, they also have co-scholastic programs. Now, this is nothing but co-curricular programs, and they have a lot of that. They have like yoga, dance, music, all these karate, basketball, you name it, you have all of it. And they also kind of integrate all of this in their everyday curriculum, so that it's not like a separate thing that you need to take up. Again, all these are traits of an international school, but they're actually having it in a mainstream school, which I really admire. And the fourth positive thing should definitely be the safety and the hygiene. The safety, definitely, as I told you, that they're doing so much with the modern technology and things like that to ensure, with CCTVs, with verification and things like that, to ensure that the school is perfectly safe environment for the kids. But even hygiene, when I was actually talking to them, they usually have all the basic hygienic requirements, but also they were telling me about how every kid, hygiene actually starts in the classroom with every single kid. And they were very super happy that the inspectors who actually came, said that the school was super hygienic. And I think the core was, in actually teaching the kids how to start with hygiene in the class itself. They're taught small things like, how to keep your desk clean, how do you ensure that even if you eat, because smaller younger kids, I think they find it super difficult to keep things clean, but they're still taught how to clean things up once they're done. So I think it all starts at the grassroots level. I think this school is the grassroots school. It has the perfect foundational thing for for any kid. Okay, yes, we have done our due diligence even this time, and we have gone through all the reviews in all the platforms that you parents have given about BVWS, and we have taken that to the management and asked for their feedback and explanation as to about all the negative reviews. So I think there were two, and the first one that was very common was about the principal, that the parents were not satisfied with the principal's the way she handled the school, the way she handled the parents and things like that. So from recently, we have a new principal. I think the management took this feedback very seriously, because I think that was a very common feedback that many parents did give. So therefore they took the feedback very seriously, and they decided to change the principal, and we have a new principal in place, Mrs. Sukada, who is heading the Hennur branch right now. So I think they have taken that very seriously. Secondly, I think the second negative review was around the school strength, not being transparent about the school strength and how many kids are there, and kind of like giving you false information during the admissions and things like that. Well, I again think that this was all part of that one phase wherein the parents were unhappy with the principal and the way things function in the school, even in terms of the admission process and things like that. Now that everything is changed, I was talking to them about the same thing. So currently they have about 107 students in the campus, and they're a growing community. They already have another branch that has come up, which is 1 year old. So I think now they're solid. They're in for a solid start. So you guys have to come meet this principal. I just met her. I think she was really sweet and really lovely. So I really hope you guys have a really good experience visiting the school. Or let's talk about competitors, right? There are two schools. One is Chaitanya and the other is New Horizon, which I think are their competitors. And Chaitanya is right around the corner. It's very close to BVWS, and there's another one which is New Horizon School here. I think when it comes to competitors, right, the biggest thing that you need to check is what are you getting and at what cost, and ultimately what are the other parents saying. I think these three things come together for a school's review, as to what you really feel about the school. So I think when it comes to competitors and when it comes to the fees, I think for the fees that you're paying, which is starting from 65 for nursery, and with the discounts, with the the 3 installments you get and all of that, and the kind of facility and the curriculum, culture, everything that they're giving, I really think that this particular school is totally in a different segment as compared to Chaitanya and New Horizon, both of them also being mainstream schools. But again, I think even compared to the fees are much higher than BVWS. So at this fees, I think it's not really a kind of a comparison here, but yeah, these are the other two schools that people do usually compare. Alright, it's time for Candid Schools verdict. Well, see, when it comes to a school, right, I really think it's first of all, very important, as I always say, as we always believe, that every kid has its own fit, has a best fit school, and for that, as a parent, you definitely have to figure out what kind of education, what kind of what kind of activities, what kind of a school that you would really want to put your kid into, and based on that you figure out what is the best fit school. But when it comes to BWs, because you're looking at this review, I really think, see, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Number one, if you are in the vicinity of Hennur, then I think within 2 to 3 kilometer radius, if you're looking at a spacious school, a little spacious school which is around 3 acre campus and things like that, then firstly the school is a tick mark. Secondly, if you're not looking for a fancy 1.5 lakh fee school, right, where they also promise the same stuff, by the way, then also this is a tick mark. Then definitely other stuff like, they have values, they have culture, they have, good leaders, and also most importantly, they have like a good blend of curriculum and sports, and all of this at a great affordable cost. And more importantly, I think the parents were also happy. When I read about the reviews, I think the parents were really happy about the kind of one-to-one they have, small classroom sizes of like 25 in each class. So I think they're kind of maintaining a good blend of having like a mainstream and an international school at super affordable rates. So I really think that this school is a big plus and a definite visit that you guys must have. Though yes, there were some negative reviews, but I really think what matters in a school is how they take the feedback. And in terms of the feedback, they completely changed the principal, and now they have a completely new management who's running this school in the on the ground here. And you must visit this school to know, because what you see is what you believe. Thank you so much.